Okay, so we approached several charities to remove all the stuff out of my sister's house upon her death. And the problems we were having with the charities and the house, any other house clearances that we approached, were that they weren't able to give us a schedule. Then when they did come to the house to look at the stuff, the service we got was very uncaring. Those were the problems, so we felt quite uncomfortable with how they approached my sister's stuff. It was just really hard. It was just really, really hard to... It felt like they were a bit like vultures, so there was no respect for my sister's stuff. There was no respect for us and the grief that we were going through at the time. It was just like, well, we'll come and take your stuff and we're going to make this amount of money. And a couple of the guys that came into the house were eyeing up certain items that they were going to take, and we overheard that conversation, and it just felt really raw. You're like a breath of fresh air, Alfie. I was exceptionally distraught. I did drop off some stuff to a charity. They gave me the wrong address, they gave me the wrong information. I was driving all around Edinburgh trying to clear the flat, and I was really, really upset. I broke down, phoned one of my friends and broke down. And I said, I can't do this, I can't do it. So went back to the flat, Googled house clearance people, phoned you, and you were just brilliant from the moment you answered the phone. So we spoke to you the first day, and you came to the house within an hour and a half, I think it was, ma'am. About an hour and a half you came, and we met you, and I think we met one other guy the first day. Yeah. Everybody was just so respectful, so kind, so caring, considerate. After the initial meeting, we were all went home feeling really quite relieved, felt like we were in safe hands. So we felt like this was all going to be done, and not done is the right word, but it was all going to be, our problems were going to be solved. So it was the next day when you arrived, so you were in and out, you were so brilliant. Yeah. And the next day when we turned up and you had your little dog in the van, and all your lads were there, and you were the boys were so respectful of my mum, respectful of my Auntie Anne, of our grief. You were respectful of my sister's stuff. You were quiet. There was no shouting, there was no "Hey lads," there was none of that. Everything was really respectfully done and quietly done. And I think when you're so emotional and you're so up with grief, you need somebody to take that stress away from you, which is what you guys did. Right. And the thing that really stood out for us all as a family was how respectful all the men were at the end when the house clearance was done, which was done in like swift time. How each one of them came back and shook her hands and says, "We're so sorry for your loss." That really, really, for us all. Relief. The minute we could shut the door and know that it was done, and there was no stress or no added stress or no added anxiety to us, that was the minute we closed the door. We were just like, oh, thank God for that.